Hello and welcome to 3 Pints of Clean Sheet. This is episode 64. I am taking on the baton from Robert this week.
Baldy.
Trying to make sure this has some form of structure and order.
Oh, just because I skip a few points now and again. It was good enough for 63 episodes, so get that round you.
I think you'll find I've done some when you've been absent. How are you, Robert?
I'm good, thanks.
Enjoying a refreshing beverage?
Yes, I'm having a wee beverage tonight. Cheeky on a school night, but just the one, you see. I'm good, just plodding along, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
Kyle looks like he's going to be annoyed if I don't ask how he is. How are you, Kyle?
I'm used to it. I'm just here to make some ruin the order that you're trying to keep.
As ever.
Create mischief.
Agent of chaos.
That's all I do.
Yes, it really is. So I thought we'd start by talking about Mohamed Salah, who is injured and was injured at the Africa Cup of Nations. It seemed like he was only going to miss a couple of games for Egypt, but he has returned to Liverpool, who have confirmed that the injury looks worse than first feared. So he's definitely not going to be playing more games for Egypt. I say that, there's a rumour that if Egypt make the final, Salah might force his way back from injury to play for Egypt. He might also be at some Premier League games for Liverpool as well, depending on how bad it actually is. Kyle, as a Liverpool fan, how do you think the lack of potential Salah impacts you?
Not at all. No fear.
Not at all.
No fear. Well, we've seen it Sunday. Was it Sunday? 4-0 to the mighty Bournemouth. So
the mighty Bournemouth won 4-0.
No, they got he chop. You see the score? You know what I mean? It was 4-0. Darwizi
twice and Jota twice.
Jota said Diaz. I was at work, so I haven't seen the scores. So yeah, no fear.
He's got no fear, but he's got the tracky to match.
He's a greedy little boy sometimes, so might.
Salah.
Yes.
I will say, it looked like the player that I say Liverpool missed. Liverpool are, 5 points clear at the top of the league, although Man City do have a game in hand. They've lost one game all season, and it was the Spurs game that Liverpool fans are claiming they got cheated out of, possibly quite rightly.
No bites. So,
however, best defense in the league, second best attack in the league. The player that looked like they were missing is Jota. Jota's looked fantastic since he came back.
Well, he's a goal scorer, so.
Yes, what about Darwizi?
He's similar to myself, agent of chaos. Just likes to show up, 90 minutes of pure vibes, go home.
Oh, well.
I enjoyed his beard just fizzing up there and him trying to do something very, very naughty to the bottle to try and contain it. As he's right up in the I think he should. Well, I should have said it now, so you want to. You should zoom in.
That's me. I'm not hosting anymore. I can't host and drink apparently.
If you'd like to see that content, subscribe to 3 Pints of the Clean Sheet Plus. It's only £3 a month extra, and you get to see all the exclusive bits. We're just like the Sidemen now.
Are we?
Yeah, except they do naughty things and folk pay for it to see the unblurred versions. It's terrible. It's the society these days, man.
I feel like that's porn.
Pretty much. Right, anyway, on that topic, let's get back.
Yes. On the topic of, let's not stay on that topic. But yeah, Liverpool, there is obviously a Manchester City brigade coming after them. There's also, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Man City all on the same points. Spurs only 3 behind them. I think they're probably even saying Spurs are in a title challenge. I mean, we asked about it ages ago. I said they weren't. You might argue they are now. Our Villa, Villa, Arsenal and Man City might all be on the same points. But if you ask me, only Liverpool and Man City are in the title challenge.
And so the next few games go.
It does. And it depends how Man City, obviously, one of 2 teams in the league with no players at the AFCON or the Asia Cup. Both teams in good form. Arsenal not been in such good form recently, although back to winning ways with 5 at the weekend against the Palace.
Oh, I could score against Palace.
Could you know? But I've seen this. This came up again on to remove any form of order that I wanted. This came up again on, I think it was Twitter. The thing ages ago about could you score 1 goal in the Premier League?
Yes.
But it came up again, and people were like, "Could you score 10 goals in League Two in a season?" And it's like, of course you couldn't.
Yeah. I mean, you watched that. I think it wasn't this summer. I think it was the
barely
summer
move.
before. You see, is it Tielemans that I think it was for Villa wearing that body cam in the pre-season
Newcastle
friendly,
in pre-season friendly.
and you see the absolute speed of them playing it, and that was a friendly.
Exactly.
If you're in the right position, you'll score 20 goals.
Yeah, but Kyle, you're not going to be in the right position.
Goal hang.
You'll just be offside. Like
Oh,
Premier League defenses are smarter than you. They
Yes,
play it
I don't know.
professionally. You don't.
I've got a few national fives. Two.
Right.
If you're on the line, you could just stay with them.
That was definitely a Nat 3 analysis. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was.
Defender there, me just there following.
That's offside, Kyle.
You're maybe pushing that forward button.
And also, I'm just
frozen. He's frozen actually.
Yeah, he's frozen.
Say it again. I'm just not good.
But
Amazing.
there's obviously, so by the time this goes out, this is Wednesday we're recording this on. The time this goes out, there will be, I believe, 5 days left of the transfer window, and not very much has happened in the Premier League in England.
In general.
Actually, in general, you're about right. There's not a ton that's going on, really. January is obviously a bit quieter than the summer for obvious reasons. People don't strengthen in January that much. People panic in January. Like the infamous one is the Fernando Torres Andy Carroll season. That's the infamous January panic. Do we think that big clubs will be starting to panic at the end of the window this year? Do we think there's going to be some deadline day action?
I think it'll be a good deadline day because folk think, do we need? Oh, just in case we'll get him, get them.
What I say is bring back them when the reporters used to be outside the training ground and the fans were behind them. Bring it back, and I'll watch Sky Sports News the whole day.
Yes. I will say, so looking at that, let's say top four, let's include Villa in the discussion, even though I don't think they'll stay there come the end of the season. Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Villa. Can you see any of them panicking? I think it'll be the teams below them that panic. I don't think it'll be the top. Like, I don't think that top four will panic.
Depends. There's still some football we played might get an injury to a key player.
I think if you go from the bottom to the top, as in like fourth to first, I think Villa are in a position where that team's got them to there, and I don't think they're really going to want to.
Villa don't need to gamble. They're already
the harmony,
season, right?
Yeah, risk the rhythm, losing the rhythm even. You know what I mean?
They've got Europe coming up still, so there's European football still to be played.
That is also true. Arsenal out of the four, Arsenal are the one I can see panicking.
Need a striker, need a goal scorer.
They do. But do they really need, this group of players managed to score so many more, they've scored less than they did this time last season.
Underperforming this season compared.
Yes, and to be fair, they also scored 5 at the weekend.
Adds a tally up to that.
I mean, who scored? Martinelli.
Martinelli.
He's the real goal scorer.
Gabriel, own goal.
Gabriel twice it was.
No, it was Gabriel, and then one of them was an own goal.
Sorry, mind that.
Trossard even, not Tossers.
Trossard.
Yeah,
so there's, but
anyway.
again, you're right. The options for up front for Arsenal aren't really natural poach. I don't know if that's how they play, but again, the other question is who's on the market that you could bring in. The only candidate is Ivan Toney.
There's hundreds of players wanting to leave to get Euros spots. Martial is one I've seen.
But is Martial going to solve Arsenal's problem? I reckon he's probably the most Jesus mould striker that's out there.
He's a good player when he wants to try, which isn't very often.
He is, but I don't think he's that kind of goal scorer. I think he could get him to play the same role as Jesus, but does he add more than Jesus? Probably not.
You need a prolific goal scorer at this point.
Chelsea are going to spunk 100 million for no reason on someone, surely.
It's fine because they won 5-0 against Middlesbrough.
After losing the first leg.
6-1.
Sorry.
Yes.
So players wanting to leave to get a European Championship spot, so don't know who, but there's players wanting to.
Well, there are. The bottom of the Premier League is where we're kind of seeing panic happening already. So you've kind of Burnley and Sheffield United, the bottom two, have both brought in strikers on loan. Sheffield United bringing in Ben Brereton Diaz, known in this country as Ben Brereton, because the Diaz was only added when he went to Spanish-speaking countries. He scored at the weekend. Seems like that transfer on paper as a loan seems really good for Sheffield United.
Might just save their bacon.
I don't think it will.
If he's got to score them goals, that's what they need.
The best transfer has already taken place, and it wasn't even in the English Premier League. It was in the Scottish Premier League, and I'm very jealous that the mighty Greg Stewart has returned. Sorry, I just wanted to get that in there at some point. I didn't know where I could fit it in, so there. Right, sorry, back to what you were talking about.
Back to that, because Burnley also signed that Fofana boy off Chelsea on loan.
Yes, David Detro.
David Datro Fofana, yes. And again, Burnley, like Amdouni has played up front for Burnley a lot this season. Amdouni signed from Basel, seems like a prospect, but also when you watch Amdouni, he misses so many chances.
Never seen him play. To watch Burnley.
Burnley, like, they just seem to miss so much. Nottingham Forest, again, Nottingham Forest are surely going to spend a ton of money on someone. Although,
Are they allowed to?
after their charge, who knows? Everton in a similar bracket, though you could argue that, you know, if you take Everton, if you take the points deduction out of the equation, Everton are actually 12th.
They've had a good season. Like, overall, I'd say. Compared to their usual standards, considering they only got relegated last year.
Yes, and Ivan Toney's back for Brentford, which kind of negates the question about whether Brentford could get sucked into this. The other team down there are Crystal Palace, who we aforementioned have been beaten by Arsenal at the weekend, convincingly.
Fans are protesting.
The fans are not happy. What's your take on it, boys? Do you think it's time for Roy Hodgson to go? I think undoubtedly he'll be away at the end of the season regardless, but do you think they need to pull the trigger now?
Probably before it's too late.
I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. I think they'll still stay up regardless.
Do you think they're gonna?
They should.
They should. I will say, like, defensively, they've not done as badly as some of the teams below them, but they have scored. The only teams that have scored less than them are Burnley and Sheffield United.
To be fair, I've not watching them this season, but the only time I did was when they played Liverpool. Mind when Liverpool scored it, they not scored one or two at the end too. I don't think they were that bad. But obviously, I've not watched the rest of them, so I can't really comment on that. But
I've watched them a couple of times, and they looked pretty dire.
No other place to have. That's why.
Well, the thing is, they've got two of the most promising young talents in the league outside the big clubs. They've got Eze and they've got Elise. Now. Remember when he was a talent at Derby? Remember?
14
all those years ago. Yeah. I mean, we can talk about Johnny Esta if you want.
Okay, anyway, next point.
Why?
I don't know what you
Why
said.
are you not going to let me talk about Johnny Williams? Super Johnny Esta?
Is he not like League Two now?
I think he is, but you know, he's if you say Crystal Palace, Johnny Williams.
Okay.
He plays like Iniesta. He never gives the ball away.
This is some order you got.
I've never heard that chant.
Wales sing it.
They weren't when I was there.
Josh Toddy Esta.
They did when you were there.
I must have fell asleep at that point.
I mean, it was a pretty shit game, fair enough.
But
yeah, Palace, like, of all the teams, Palace are the one you look at thinking they might get sucked into this. You know, Forest have Nuno, have technically a good squad. It's just, can you get a tune out of them? Everton have had a points deduction and are better than the league table suggests where they are. And then that relies on one of the bottom three getting out of trouble. And if one of the bottom three is getting out of trouble, it's going to be Luton.
Looks like it at the moment.
I said it weeks ago. The only team wants the only team trying. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, they've shown a bit of desire, which is nice. They could stay up, but I don't know. I just feel like they might fall short.
They're scoring plenty of goals. Well, for another team, didn't they?
They've scored the same number as Everton.
They're not all right.
Yeah, but like you said,
they've scored 3 more than Burnley.
Oh, more.
Yeah, it's not great though, is it? Actually, do you know what's better? They've scored the same number of goals as Manchester United.
Well, that's a terrible season.
Yes,
Awful.
exactly. There you go. The other on subject to Premier League news, we've kind of not spoke about that mid-table section. The big rumour in the past week has been Bournemouth needing to get a new striker so that Kiefer Moore can come to Cardiff. Yeah, of course not. No, it's to do with Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier allegedly set to go and join Bayern Munich, in a move that I think came out of absolutely nowhere for everyone.
Some agent he is.
They're just
It's
saying,
like Dyer, isn't it, as well?
just saying he's washed up English players.
There's some agent he has, and then there's signing someone who was arguably the best fullback in the Premier League last year.
He's been one of the worst this season.
Yep.
To make a bit of money on him. Good
Yeah.
transfer model.
Cash out while you can.
I say that,
Fix your-
yeah.
Fix your FFP or whatever it's called.
15 to 20 million if it allows someone with quality to get through the door. Livramento's there. The problem is, if and when Livremento gets injured, who fills that gap? And is it Emil Kraft?
It's
And if
Emil
so-
Kraft.
If so, apparently the other rumour is Harrison Ashby, who's on loan at, I believe, Swansea. There's a rumour that Harrison Ashby will get recalled from his loan and he will be the one coming back to fill in that gap if Trippier does go.
He must kick on, not go back.
There's also been, he pulled out. Did he pull out of the England squad? Have some time away because of family issues? I'm led to believe his house got broken into. He doesn't seem to have had the best time of it this year with injuries as well. But on the other hand, he is like Lascelles is club captain, but Trippier has the armband more often than not on the field for Newcastle.
Big
Does
move
it
for
make-
him. Latter stages of his career, I would. Well, I'm assuming.
Would you
I think
expect Trippier to go to the Euros?
He might have a good season in
Probably.
Germany.
He's one of those. It's one of those names that always seems to end up on the list.
Experienced.
Yeah. I wouldn't. Well, I mean,
England have a ton of right backs though.
Well, Trent's
Yeah.
outfielder now, so that's one less to worry about.
Reece James,
Injured.
Tavernier.
Walker. Right, no. We're not talking about Rangers this week.
Marcus Tavernier might be
Talk
good.
about
Yeah, Marcus. Yeah, that's a good
Marcus,
point.
mate. He's a good player, right? Anyway.
The other Newcastle transfer news, which we're going to link to the next item on our list here, is about Miguel Almiron is the other Newcastle bit of transfer news. There's a rumour that some Saudi club are going to come in and pay a lot of money for Miguel Almiron, and that
You take it. He's pretty mince.
I wouldn't say that. He's a lovely guy. He puts in 110% effort.
When was the last time you seen him? Best pals in the pub together.
You can just tell he's a nice guy. Like just the way he talks to the media, the way he acts in the media. He's a lovely guy. The improvement
People have said that about a lot of folk.
the improvement he's seen, the improvement seen in him since How Took Charge is fantastic. But ultimately
He was shite though before Howard took over.
he was, but he's not shite now.
He is this season.
He scored he's not scored the same as last season, but he never was going to score those many as last season. He scored some good goals at decent times. Like he's a good player.
He's a lovely guy.
But the question is ultimately, players are going to have especially when you want to try and get up the league. Players have a ceiling.
Yeah.
The question is more about the means. Is it a coincidence that with Newcastle's FFP problem, some Saudi team are coming in to pay some money for Miguel Almiron, a player that Newcastle could probably happily dump?
Well, you can look at it from two perspectives. One
Hello.
from Newcastle, it would be it's brilliant, yeah, make some money off him, yeah, he's a great player, get a fee for him, and other people are like, something's fishy going on here, like you were hinting at, I would say. So I don't know. What would you say as a Newcastle fan?
I mean, if the money comes, you're going to take it. You've got to question. I think as a football fan in general, you've got to question how legit this is. There are Saudi clubs that are not owned by the state, and I've no idea which Saudi club is rumoured to have him. I would be surprised if it was one of the privately owned ones, but it could be.
Yeah, it's not going to be.
But the Newcastle fan in me says, how many years now have we seen Red Bull Salzburg sell to RB Leipzig
All the
and
time.
not battered an eyelid?
Yeah, it kind of slips under the radar because it's like I feel like the kind of phase of being like, oh, that's terrible, that's terrible, that's terrible, is kind of went out the window, and now Saudi Arabia are kind of taking the spotlight.
It's
Like
like,
that, like it's the same thing. Like I said to this someone, so we had a chat yesterday. I know this is completely off kilter, and I'm meant to be hosting and don't care. I spoke to someone yesterday about Welcome to Wrexham, which I know you've watched, Robert.
Yep.
And I've said, if the owners weren't American and in Hollywood, could you watch that TV program in a different light and say, do you know what? If these owners weren't famous American celebrities, there'd be a lot of questions about when's the money running out? Are they only in this for the publicity? How much do they actually care about the town? There'd be a lot of cynicism there that just doesn't seem to be there in the case of Wrexham, when lots of people would argue, you know, they've bought their way to League One. Eventually, they're going to buy their way to a place where they can't go any further and disappear.
It's one of those, like, I have watched it and I enjoyed it, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously I have no affiliation to Wrexham whatsoever, couldn't care if they did well or not, but I enjoyed watching it, and I think it obviously, but in a documentary about someone taking over, it's always going to be shed in a very positive light. But I think what they have done is for the greater good of the club and the community. However, you could always look at it different ways, because like you said, it is this kind of new injection of money.
I would argue if
It
I would
goes both
argue if they
ways.
weren't American, would be calling that documentary sports washing.
If they were a Russian investor, yeah, let's be honest.
Yeah.
don't know.
Good point made. Good point made. I think that's one for the comment section.
Yes, let us know. Let us know what you think about Wrexham, about Newcastle's dodgy transfers. But still on the subject of Saudi Arabia, Jordan Henderson's disappeared.
And it wasn't a Celtic like Kyle said, mate.
No,
Signing.
no, he went to Ajax, which I also think people didn't really expect.
Not at all. I don't think the fans did, because he's became like his shirt has been the most sold shirt ever in their history, I believe.
Why?
Like as in like in terms of selling and stuff, I believe.
Massive footballing name.
Cruyff, Henderson.
So he's still going to end up going to the Euros. You know, he claims
one of
the
those
reasons he left were purely football, but I'm not sure it was.
Started doing bad stuff over there.
I'm led to believe he's not going to get paid a single penny. He hasn't been paid in Saudi Arabia, and he's not going to be.
How does that work? I thought they got paid monthly.
I was led to believe they had to be there for so long to earn the money.
That's probably why they've done on those type of deals. Oh, see, it gets worse. It gets worse.
And I could be completely wrong about that. I could have my facts wrong, but I did read something from a fairly good source to say that he was going to be paid not very much, if anything.
How's he going to manage now?
Multi-millionaire without getting paid for a wee bit of work.
What, 3 months? 4 months?
6.
Has it been that long?
6. I do feel for him on that front. Would hate to have had all this money and just didn't get paid.
Yes, so he's not received a penny. He deferred the wages to avoid having to pay tax in the UK.
Well, serves you right, Jordan.
So yeah, under UK law, you have to pay tax on any money made outside the country after so many days. He said, don't pay me until X date, so he didn't have to pay tax in the UK, and then he's left, so he's not going to get paid anything at all.
Lock up and throw away the key.
We better pay the tax and taking a hit.
Of course, he said he was going over there to change things. He wasn't going for the money, and he was going there to change things. Well, I know he wasn't there for the money, but I'd like to congratulate him on all the 0 things he's managed to change while he's been there.
He's now got to tackle Amsterdam's issues.
Is he?
Just in time for us going in June.
Hopefully we see him.
Jordan. He'll be at the Euros, so
he'll be in the England camp, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Karim Benzema is led believed to be the next name ready to leave Saudi.
That's because he's not playing well.
Where does he go?
Chelsea.
I've heard Man U.
Man U or Chelsea. Clubs with more money than sense, who are in desperate need of a goal scorer.
Back to Madrid.
Do Madrid want him?
I don't think Madrid would want him. He's 36, he ain't no spring chicken.
Exactly. He's the exact type of player you can see Todd Bowley going, get me him, and spending a ton of money and him scoring about 3 goals.
Do it in his accent now.
I don't know what his accent is.
That's American.
Carry on, you do it.
No, you're alright, I'm not a host. I'll do it next week.
Kyle's the agent of chaos. Kyle, be Todd Bowley saying, get me Benzema.
Oh, here we go.
Get me Karim Benzema.
That just
That wasn't
sounded
as
like your
bad as I
own
thought it
normal
was gonna
voice,
be.
Kyle.
That
Yeah,
wasn't as
that's
bad as I thought it was
that's
going to
what.
be. Fair play.
I'm for downtown Dallas.
Are you?
No, so you just told me.
Yes. So there's likely to be some names wanting to leave Saudi. Mass exodus. Do you think there'll be any more to follow?
I heard Laporte as well.
Laporte as well.
He said it wasn't. It's like grass isn't greener, essentially.
Well, of course it's not. But there's one thing that
It's
Saudi
all
Arabia has.
sand.
Saudi Arabia's got, well, yes, sand, but it's also got big pay packets, and that's surely going to be a problem. Like Henderson's going to have taken. I know he's ended up getting paid nothing, but his pay cut's going to be catastrophic. The pay
I feel
cuts
it-
for them to go back to the UK or wherever else is going to be ridiculous.
Too bad. If you want to play decent football, you got to take the.
You shouldn't have left in the first
good with the
place, yeah.
bad. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it's,
Anyway.
in terms of his career, I mean, why wouldn't you sign for like a big team in well, one of the biggest teams in Holland? Let's be honest.
But in terms of
Big
his
history.
career, is he going to be known for that 6 months where he said he was going to Saudi Arabia to make revolutionary changes and he left after 6 months because he hated it?
Forget about it though.
I don't think
One of those.
football fans have a long memories.
Yeah, but I think can you name how many players can you name
Especially-
went to China when that was a big thing? No many. Just the
But
same names.
no one of the same profile as
Well,
Henderson went,
the scale wasn't as big.
especially in this country.
Do you think it was kind of Russia to start with, wasn't it? Like when you look at Samuel Eto'o or Eto'o's Kelsey and Hulk and
Is it
all
Eto'o?
these.
Anzi Mahaha.
That one, yeah.
Bob Carlos.
Yes.
That's his
Yeah.
English name.
See, Russia did it in some points. China did it. No one's had the success at getting people there as Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia also have a World Cup coming. So it's in Saudi Arabia's interest to keep attracting these big players until the World Cup happens.
Oh, it's just a bit of a farce, isn't it?
Yes. Is that 2020? Is that 2034? They're hosting the World Cup. I think it is.
No, but yeah, because 20. What are we in 2024?
Because 2030 is the
2028 will
stupid
be-
one.
28 is
2026 is America,
Six, sorry,
Mexico,
America,
and
that's
Canada.
right.
And 2030 is the stupid one that's got like 2 games in Uruguay and Argentina and the rest in Spain, possibly Morocco.
annoys me.
The really weird centenary one that should have just been held in Argentina and Uruguay for whatever reason wasn't, because FIFA love money.
Uruguay because they fucking won the thing.
I think the argument is you now need like 12 stadiums. You're going to need more than that actually, because it's going to be a 48 team World Cup. You're going to need
Yeah.
minimum 12 stadiums to host the World Cup, and a country the size of Uruguay can't do it. Saudi Arabia are going to have that World Cup, and if the Saudi Pro League is not still going strong at that stage, local fans will not go.
There's 12 stadiums in Uruguay, Christ. They're big
No, the
Premier League.
FIFA 5-star capacity. It's rated in
5-star
capacity,
graded, minimum 40,000 capacity.
Ask.
Well,
That's
he
you
answered.
told. On the subject of
Sit
getting
down.
Kyle Telt, it's time to see if Robert can overthrow him in the game. One tie break if we need it. Kyle, as we know, is very good at this game, and it's Robert's turn to see if he can overthrow him this week.
Just
First.
woke up bars.
Any questions before we start? I'm trying to put the pressure on you.
Nah, I'm alright. Game on.
Think I feel pressure? No.
Great, that was a question before we started. First player, 2007, £5.8 million.
I didn't hear that, sorry.
Tough shit.
Fuck it. You're saying?
No, carry on.
Oh, Robbie Savage.
No.
I don't know. Michael Essien.
No. 2007, 5.8 million for a midfielder.
Wilson Palacios.
It was not.
A midfielder. I don't know. Jordan Henderson.
It was not. 2007, 5.8 million pounds for a midfielder from England.
Steve Sidwell.
It was not.
Michael Carrick.
Mm-mm.
I don't know how many years he was at Man United before. I don't know where he was before.
Spurs.
Newcastle, was he not?
Michael Carrick was at Spurs.
Spurs. Then he
Yeah.
was at Newcastle's youth because he's from Newcastle. He was in the Walls End Boys Club. I can't remember if he went to Newcastle or if he went straight to another academy somewhere.
Which game's at Spurs?
2007, 5.8 million for a midfielder from England left Manchester City.
Oh no, no him.
I don't know.
John Rankin.
It was not.
Not
Robert?
English.
I can't think. I can only think of players that aren't English. No.
Nope. 2007, 5.8 million for a midfielder from England left Manchester City to join Newcastle United.
That's really, really easy, that actually.
Midfielder.
Midfielder from England, 2007, 5.8 million.
I'm going to get it wrong. I'm going to say the wrong one.
Pick one.
Gary Lee Boyer.
It was not.
I generally do not know.
Nope.
Wait, give me a
Have a
second.
guess. I'm going to have to put the interlude in the middle again.
I can't think of an English midfielder that's went from Manchester City
Nope.
that far back.
No.
Games about
Right.
That's
No
another
one's
one.
getting any. No one's getting any points. You can say your other one now.
Kieran Dyer.
It's not.
No.
What have I told you? He's a twat.
Oh, Joey Barton.
Joey Barton.
I thought
Did he leave?
Yep.
It was sooner than that.
Yeah, I thought he was after that. Best.
2022, 17 million.
No, what's that wee guy called? Mendy. That boy for Leicester, Mendy.
Nope.
I'll chuck his name in there just because I don't know. Edward.
Nope. 2022, 17 million for a defender.
Excuse me, Kolasinac.
It was not.
2022 is about throwing me. It's like end of COVID, isn't it? No, it's after COVID. That's the way I picture it in my head. Think of the COVID season.
The start of last season.
Yeah, true. Right, I don't know.
2022, 70 million for a defender from Wales.
That was a close one.
What was your
Ethan
close one?
Ampadu.
It's not Ethan Ampadu.
That's not who it was, but
I can't think of any Welsh defenders. Chris Gunter.
No. I wish he would cost 17 million pounds.
That's what I thought.
2022, 17 million for a defender from Wales left Liverpool.
oh, Nico Williams.
2 points, Nico Williams.
I will say that he just plays a midfielder for them now. For Nottingham Forest.
He's a right back, surely.
Wasn't come on it, which is why I keep touching it.
Yeah, looks like you might have been bleeding, Kyle.
Yeah, I had a scab, picked it off.
Helpful. Yes,
Hard.
2 points for Nico Williams, joined Nottingham Forest. One of the many players who did. 2013, £400,000.
Oh, Jesus.
Iffy Ambrose.
It was not.
Gav Riley.
It was not. 2013, £400,000 for a winger.
Is he 400,000?
Yep.
I'm
400.
drinking, that put me off.
Why not have Steve Lawless?
It was not Stevie Lawless. You're a good friend.
Can't remember the year you said there.
2013,
For
winger.
for 400,000. I don't know. I
See
don't
you soon,
know.
my sweet.
I don't know. Pass. This is annoying. My mind's blank tonight. Need to do it in the morning when I'm more awake.
2013, £400,000 for a winger from Scotland.
Stuart Armstrong.
No.
I know he was more of a back, I think, but Akechi Anya.
No. 2013, £400,000 for a winger from Scotland left Aberdeen.
Gary Mackay,
Nope.
Wait, that's way too far back. That's way too far back. I forgot the year.
Oh, if I could just. No, it's not right. I know it's not right. Jonathan Hayes.
You're correct. It's not right. He's not Scottish.
I know he's not, but I couldn't think.
2013, £400,000 for a winger from Scotland left Aberdeen to join Bournemouth.
Ryan Fraser.
Yes, 1 point.
Throwing me off. That's not fair. He's in Aberdeen.
And for me as well.
Yeah, it's the same for both of you. 3-0. Yes, that was Ryan Fraser. I read it the full transfer that time. Next one, 2009, £60,000.
You're really going all out today, haven't you?
Yep.
2009, 60,000.
I've managed to get you both with one of them. It's 1 point to me for Joey Barton.
If you don't win. I don't fucking know. Johnny Russell.
It wasn't.
Oh no, Kevin Nolan.
2009, 60,000 for a defender.
60,000 is the bits that throwing me.
Bilal Mojni.
It wasn't.
What year was it again?
2009.
I don't know. It's not going to be that transfer, but Bobo Baldi.
It
I think
wasn't.
we've had that before, actually.
I love Bobo Baldi. I've definitely put Bobo Baldi in here somewhere before.
I think we have.
2009, 60,000 for a defender from Ireland.
He says it really weirdly.
Shane Duffy?
It wasn't.
Paddy McCourt.
It also was not. 2009, 60,000 defender from Ireland left Sligo Rovers.
Oh, aye. They sweat.
People
Owen
will be-
Doyle.
People will be screaming at you.
Oh, the Sligo Rovers fans, aye.
Robert,
Stephen Ireland. He wasn't even a defender.
2009 defender, 2009, 60,000 defender from Ireland left Sligo Rovers to join Everton.
Oh, Seamus Coleman.
Seamus Coleman, 1 point, 4-0.
Yeah, I thought it was when you said Ireland, I thought fucking Steve Cragen.
Ah,
He's a different Irish, I know, but
Curly toe of death.
what was
What's
that?
that? The curly toe of death. If it's a different podcast, sorry.
what's the scores currently?
What's that?
4-0.
It's the last one.
Yep.
So a big demon 5 pointer.
2023, 15 million.
I'm gonna say Yuri Tielemans.
It's not.
How many? Repeat it for me.
2023, 15 million.
I don't know. I can't
I know,
even
Jeff.
think.
Come on, Robert. Come on, Robert.
I don't know. See, when the pressure's on, the mind goes blank, and you know that.
I know.
Right. 2023, 15 million. I can't even think of anyone who transferred in 20. And I was going to say Dean Henderson, but I'm pretty sure I had that a few weeks ago.
I can't remember.
Was he
Nah.
digging for gold?
Is that what you're saying?
No, because I put that a few weeks ago. Who moved recently?
Excuse me.
But game's a good game. As much as I want you to win.
I don't know.
I'm
That pass, I'm gone.
Take as long as you want. I'm in no rush.
I'll have to put the intermission in again.
Go on, go on.
Nope. 2023, 15 million for a goalkeeper. This is to tie. So take as long as you want this time.
Who was it? Dean Henderson.
Jordan Henderson, we would hope not. He's a midfielder.
You never know what position he was playing in Saudi Arabia.
I'm just going to take my time.
I think it'd have been a lot more, but Andre Onana.
It was not Andre Onana.
Ah.
It was the start of this year. Talking.
Well done, Kyle.
I might just.
Again.
I still do I guess.
You are, but I'm going to hurry you up. You've won.
No, I'm going to take my time now.
Nope.
Vicario.
Nope. 2023, 15 million for a goalkeeper from England.
James Trafford.
Yes, 3 points. James Trafford
Oh, well.
left Man City to join Burnley.
Does
I
that mean
like the
Albert?
shock on his face when I got it.
It does. If only I'd put that at the start, I might have built you up some confidence.
I know. What game's a bogey, mate?
What on earth's he having?
A £1 shot, I think. It's
Ooh.
probably been like it's probably been lying in his bedroom for the last 7 years.
That
Right.
was.
Let's do the tiebreaker just to see how if you would have got a point, Robert. 2012, £4 million.
Yelovich.
No.
2012.
Just
£4
throw it
million.
out there. Throw a guess out there.
Cole Touré.
No, 2012, £4 million for a striker.
I thought it was Yelovich again.
Might be.
Ollie McBurney.
Nope. Nope. 2012, £4 million for a striker from England.
Shane Duffy.
Nope.
Ivan Toney back in the day.
Nope. 2012, £4 million striker from England left Fulham.
Oh wait.
That big baldy guy, Andrew Johnson.
Nope. But you're not far wrong with that baldy guy. I think he was bald for a while.
Oh, you dick! I know it is.
You just gave it to him.
What's
I
your
still
guess,
don't know.
Robert?
I still don't know.
Well, Kyle, tell him, so I don't
All I
have
can
to-
think of is Clint Dempsey, who's American.
Is that Bob Zamora?
It is Bobby Zamora. Yeah, he jumped QPR.
Oh, well, I'll take a 4-3. That's not too bad.
Good
Going.
context for the people at home. I might have been playing that Zamora when these two joined the lobby for the podcast this evening. Of course, the famous Bobby Zamora chant. When,
Thanks for
when,
that.
I
when
just
the
thought you were
ball
a big
hits the
Dean
goal,
Martin
it's
fan.
not Crouchy or Cole, that's Zamora.
When the ball hits your head and you're sat in Rosette, that's Zamora. I preferred that.
See?
version.
I prefer that version too. On to the predictions. And well. We almost had something unbelievable last week. Kyle, me, and Robert all predicted that Morton would beat Montrose, that Nice would beat Bordeaux, and that Bahrain would beat Malaysia. Robert also got points
Hurry up.
for saying that Partick Thistle would beat Ross County, boing boing,
Boing.
and that East Fife and Peterhead would draw. That left Robert on a perfect 5 out of 5. The one that was left was Airdrie versus St Johnstone, and I went for the cup set, and Airdrie did indeed progress. So it's 5 points for Robert, and the closest we've had for 6 out of 6 this season, I believe. I got 4, and Kyle got 3.
Fuck's sake.
So that takes
Bro,
the total scores.
rolling back.
That is the first 5 we've had this season. We've had plenty 4s, not very many 5s. We've had 2 0s. Kyle, despite being last, hasn't had a 0. Me and Robert have. Total scores:
what's the
Kyle
average?
on 55, Robert on 61, Greg on 64.
Easy being cheesy.
This week, it's Robert's turn for the games. First game, Scottish Premiership, Hearts versus Aberdeen. After wins for both in the Cup, Hearts came back last night to draw from 2-9 to beat Dundee, whereas Aberdeen are playing St Johnstone as we are recording this. Hearts are unbeaten in 6 games in the league, but their last loss was against Aberdeen.
I think they'll rectify that, and I'm going for the jam tarts, please.
I'm also going for the Jam Tarts. Hearts for Kyle too. Championship, Dundee United versus Dunfermline. Dundee United are top with their game in hand. With a game in hand, after capitalising on Wraith's stutter in form, Dunfermline are in a poor on the form themselves. They've not won in the league in 5 games. That is an Arab win for myself.
Tangerines.
I don't like
Tangerines
them,
for
yes, but United.
Going up by all accounts. Scottish League One, Annan Athletic versus Edinburgh City, the bottom 2 square off, only 3 points difference between them, though the away side drew it with Falkirk last time out, and some would say were robbed of a win. Both sides have only won 2 games in the league this season.
Edinburgh.
I'm going for a draw.
I'm stuck in that between the two. I think I'd draw as well.
Sod it, go on in. Why not? Scottish League 2, Forfar versus Bonnyrigg. Forfar 8th, square off against Bonnyrigg in 5th, but only 3 points between them as well. Bonnyrigg, their cup heroics against Falkirk, but Forfar have taken more points from their last 5 games than Bonnyrigg have.
Rose.
I'm going for Kyle's favourite Forfar. No.
Ah, you said
I've
it, you
said-
said it, you said it.
No,
you
I've
said
not.
it.
I never finished it.
You've said it, you've said it, you
I'm
said
going
it, you
for a
said it.
draw.
You said it, you said it.
I'm going for a draw.
I think they'll draw as well. I think it'll be an upset.
National League,
After the-
Chesterfield versus Southend. I think Robert's going to this one.
I'm going, guys. I'll put some photos on the socials. It's a bit of a different one. 4 hours to get to an away game by
Yes.
car.
I was hopefully going to put some stuff on the socials this Sunday, but alas, I was 4,500th in the queue for Man United Newport tickets, so sadly didn't get any. Chesterfield are 13 points clear at the top of the National League with 2 games in hand. Southend sit 12th, but have won both of their last 2 games. Chesterfield win for me. I think I'll be going home disappointed, Robert.
Well, you say that, but I'm going to maybe have to give up a point here. But I think just the ropey form recently, you've not included our cup form. You've not been a bit as
I've not, because one of my games was against Watford.
I don't care. Nah, Southend for me. Big upset.
Chesterfield.
And the last game is in Ligue 1. It's Marseille versus Monaco. 7 versus 4th. Marseille are unbeaten in 7 league games, but out of the Coupe de France versus overall Rennes on pens. That is far too much French and rhyming English here for me. Monaco won their cup game against second-tier opponents, but have lost 2 out of their last 3 in the league.
Marseille. Joey Barton's boys for me.
I'm going for a draw.
I'd say Monaco.
Lovely. That's the end of predictions for this week. Kyle, I'm hoping you've got the Fantasy League up.
I do.
Because I forgot to put it in the running order. How's it going?
Number 1 is the runaway leader of Darren Whitty FC Whitfield.
Well done, Darren.
Done Daz.
Whoever Daz is, we don't know. But come in the comments. Offer Greg a swear go if you feel. Greg is in second. Speak to the devil.
Hey!
Down to 4th for that reaction.
I will say, I am raging that Gabriel's second goal got classed as a Dean Henderson own goal, because although I had Gabriel. So yeah, he got an assist, but that's done out of 3 points.
3rd is former fan favourite of Jack Hughes.
Oh.
He's fell off something chronic.
These are actually all Robert's
well.
burner accounts.
I wish.
Other fans favourite of Cyril Brendan Dube is in 6th above me.
Now that is a catastrophic fall.
He's actually joint 6th with yours truly. We're tied. I don't know if he gets to be above me, but we'll let it slide.
So I assume he was above you before it started.
We'll give 2.
I don't know what the tiebreak rules are.
I think it's alphabetical order actually. He beats me in everything.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Arsehole.
Is Robert in the relegation places yet, or is he still 16th of 18?
No, he's 17th. Been there for the last.
We're 17th for ages.
So however long this season's going for.
We're playing the Scottish format here. I'm playing I'm in the playoffs.
He's playing against Arbroath in the playoffs.
I do
Oh,
wish.
So yeah, that's all that fun stuff.
Well done, guys. Thanks for taking part.
Darren Whitfield.
He's coming for you, or he thinks he is.
Well, Cyril, do if you hear this, you're mine.
That's cute. Valentine's Day's coming up. Buy him a card. That's
Right.
the end of this episode of 3 Points to Clean Sheet. This has been episode 64. Please, last week, we've done so well in the past 2 weeks. Last week was a bit of a disappointment. Please like, subscribe, share this video, retweet it if you're on Twitter,
X.
like your post if you're on Instagram. I don't know what that is, Kyle.
X.
Simon Kill in the corner.
Are you a West Ham fan? Is that what that means?
Come on, you.
I'm all inclusive, like a good holiday.
Great. And just like an all-inclusive holiday, you make me sick. That's the end of this episode of 3 Points to Clean Sheet. It's been nice to see you. Ta-ra.
Bye.
Godspeed.